The Aswa Show. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So in today's video I just wanted to talk about having a baby face, so I'm gonna just hold up the camera while I'm talking. So basically I've looked really young for the majority of my life, and I know this will sound like complaining. Whenever I talk about the cons of having a baby face, no one wants to hear it. They literally like walk away, or they get really angry when I talk about having a baby face. But the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I feel like the first thing people do is just shut down conversations about having a baby face, and they'll be like, no, you're really lucky, wait till you're 40, wait till you're 40. But a lot of times they don't really understand that when you have a baby face, you're kind of looked down on in all career aspects of your life. You're looked down on in academics, you're looked down on in most situations. The first time I realized that I was having a lot of issues being taken seriously was when I was still in college, and I was already like 20 years old, and I was getting jobs. So there was a job where it was like I was in college, I was obviously 20, and it said my birth date, but then they came up to me and they were like, are you sure you're 18? They were basically asking if I was lying about my age when I was trying to get a job as a nursing assistant. And pretty much every job I've always had, they had to like constantly like ask me if I was 18 years old. Another issue I deal with when I look a lot younger than my age is that a bunch of strangers that I don't know talk down on me, or like assume that I'm a child and treat me like a child. So it is something that has always frustrated me growing up, especially like when I turned 17, 18. It was something that immediately irritated me, because it was like all of a sudden there's a girl younger than me trying to talk to me like I was little. And I'm just sitting there like, no, I'm not. And then by the time they find out my age, all of a sudden they feel embarrassed that they talk down to me. But I just don't understand that even if I was a 12-year-old, even if I was 15, why do you feel the need to talk down on me in the first place, you know? So I just noticed that people kind of use age as an excuse to disrespect other people who are younger than them. And that is something that I had to experience a lot. And whenever I'm out in public or people don't know who I am specifically, they immediately look down on me or talk down to me or expect me to not have any life experience. But once they realize that I'm 24, then they start freaking out. Another thing I started to do, which I didn't realize that it became an insecurity of mine, is that I started to wear heavy makeup and wear heels and wear a coat, wool coat, and I was basically trying so hard to look like an adult because I was an adult. And it was like nobody outside of my family or like people who knew me specifically was treating me like an adult. Even though I was wearing a wool coat, even if I was wearing makeup, even though I was trying so hard to look older and I was walking around in heels every single day, people still thought that I was under the age of 18. It was like no matter how hard I tried, I still looked like a child, and people were treating me that way. Another problem is I noticed that even men, not men, minors, children, kids under the age of 18 were hitting on me, and it was very uncomfortable to experience because they all thought I was a child, or they thought I was in high school when I legit graduated college. So it's really funny. The last thing I wanted to talk about is just not being taken seriously. People always assuming that you don't know what you're talking about, or they just immediately disrespect me the second they meet me just because I look younger. And the thing is, like, I get that I will appreciate it when I'm 40, but the fact that I'm trying to, you know, pursue my career right now and trying to pursue, you know, life in general, it's really frustrating to constantly, like, that assumption that people have that I'm not old enough, and constantly treating me like a child is a very frustrating experience to have. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to talk about when it comes to having a baby face. But I've realized that there were a lot of things that I refused to buy, or a lot of things that I just held myself back from buying. Like, for example, I love wearing Uggs, but it is something that is seen as childish. So a lot of times if I was wearing like Uggs, or if I wasn't wearing any makeup, people would be like, well, you look like a child because, you know, people your age would not be wearing Uggs, or people your age would not be wearing this type of scarf. So then I was trying so hard to mold myself into an adult that I was stopping myself from wearing things that I love. So basically it got to a point where I was so sick and tired of holding myself back that this year specifically I decided that enough was enough, and that I will not stop myself from buying things that I love just because people will assume that I'm younger than I am. And I realized something. I realized no matter how hard I tried to dress older, it won't change the fact that people will still see me like I was little, and I just have to wait for, you know, to age a little bit. And even if people disrespect me, I realize it wasn't really my problem. It was mostly their problem for thinking that they can talk down to a 12-year-old, 15-year-old, 17-year-old. Like, even though people will always like underestimate me, I can use it to my advantage, and I just learned to kind of accept reality for what it is. So I don't know who wants to hear this video. I'm basically making this video for anyone who has a baby face out there, constantly being disrespected in the workforce, in social settings. If you're constantly feeling like people are automatically like assuming that you don't know anything, or that you're too young to understand, or they talk down on you, just know that you're not the only person who is experiencing it. And honestly, instead of fighting the fact that you have a baby face, might as well just embrace it. I mean, it's hard to say that, of course, because I'm just sounding like everyone else who says just wait till you turn 40. But basically, there's nothing you can do about it. That's all I'm trying to say. And once you accept that there's nothing you can do about it, you can just enjoy your life and live life to the fullest, and not hold yourself back from wearing clothes or doing things that make you look younger. Anyways, that's all I have to say in this video, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye.